It's Monday, and Grandma is preparing to go for an appointment. 8-year-old Adam decides to help out by making her a coffee for the first time. He innocently drops the coffee mug on the floor and spills hot water everywhere. "Nobody asked you to make coffee, Adam. Now you have made a mess," shouts Grandma. Adam regrets trying to help out. Elsewhere, David, who is also 8 years old, spills his milk on the floor during breakfast. His grandma watches as he tries in vain to clean up. Although he is trying to be helpful, he panics and makes a greater mess. "It's okay, David. I'll clean it up. We know you were only trying to help out," says his grandma. Today, Adam did not receive any appreciation, whilst David was appreciated by his grandma. This is the first A of emotional needs: appreciation. Tuesday. Adam tries his best during a school test but does not get more than 50%. He comes home crying. His older sister sees his test report and stares at him. "You are not revising enough. You are not allowed to play with your friends for a week," she shouts. As a result, Adam believes he is not hardworking enough. David also comes home that day. He hands over his test report to his older sister. His sister looks at the report and remarks, "Less than 50%. It's okay. We know you tried your best. Next time, we will look at where you struggled and help you revise those topics." David exhales a sigh of relief and looks forward to school the next day. The second A, acceptance. Adam did not feel accepted by his sibling, whilst David felt accepted regardless of his academic achievements. Wednesday. Adam is a creative kid and has a wild imagination. He tells his grandfather, "Can we build a swimming pool in the garden so we can all swim every day?" His grandfather looks at him and remarks, "That is a silly idea. Have you seen the size of our garden? How can a swimming pool fit in there?" Adam suppresses his thoughts as he now thinks his ideas are unworthy. David is also a very creative child. He asks his grandfather to buy a slide and a swing for the garden. His grandfather responds, "That is a great idea, but we cannot afford it. How about we go to the park today after school?" David jumps at the idea and cannot wait for the evening to come. Acknowledgement. The third A. Notice how David's idea was acknowledged and Adam's idea was not, even though both seemed impractical. Thursday. Sports day. Adam and David are both in the same class in school. Both are very athletic and enjoy any form of physical activity. It is their favorite day of the year. Adam wins first place in the 100-meter sprint, whilst David wins first place in the 200-meter sprint. Both go home very proud of their gold medals. Adam runs to his older brother, eager to show off his gold medal and gain some sort of recognition. His brother looks at the medal and remarks, "Nice, but you only got one medal? I won 5 when I was your age." Adam felt deflated and went to his room, cursing his lack of medals. David, however, gets approached by his older brother as soon as he comes home. "Amazing, you won gold in the 200-meter sprint? We should put this on display in the living room," exclaims his brother. Approval. The fourth A. Both Adam and David were looking for approval from the older brothers. Even though they both achieved victory, one ended the day high in confidence, whilst the other's confidence was rock bottom. Friday. End of the school week. Both Adam and David come home looking forward to the weekend. Adam decides to go to his room and play with his Lego blocks. He builds a complicated structure with great effort and time. Keen to show his father, he runs to the living room and asks him to come and see his Lego structure. His father responds, "Not now, Adam, I am very busy." Adam goes to sleep that night, hoping someone will walk into the room and see what he has created with the Lego pieces. David decides to paint his house on a massive piece of paper. Proud of his painting, he asks his dad to view his piece of art. His father was very busy trying to build the garden shed, but pauses to look at the painting. It was a very messy painting, thought his father, but he responds, "Great painting. Maybe you could try creating a painting of our garden as well." Attention. The fifth A. Both Adam and David have very busy fathers. However, only one child received attention. The weekend. Adam plays with his tennis ball in his garden. Whilst attempting to catch the ball, he falls over and bruises his knee. His mother panics and shouts, "I always ask you to be careful. Go to the kitchen and apply some ice to your bruise." David is also in his garden and looks at the ladder leaning against the fence. He wonders why his mother always tells him not to climb it. He decides to climb the ladder and falls with a thud. His mother also panics, but keeps calm and lifts him up. She embraces him and takes him indoors. Once the shock of the event is over, David's mother calmly explains to him this is the reason why she always warns him not to use the ladder. Affection. The sixth and final A. Adam and David both hurt themselves. They both recovered, but only one received affection. Affection, attention, acknowledgement, appreciation, approval, and acceptance. These are the 6 A's of emotional needs in every child. If these needs are not met in childhood, the symptoms can be seen in adulthood. A child like Adam is more likely to reach adulthood and suffer from PTSD, depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, self-harm, aggressive behaviour, low self-esteem, poor discipline, and severe guilt or shame. Chances are he will also treat children in the same manner without even realizing it. That is not to say David will not suffer any mental or psychological conditions. In fact, like every human being, he will also face challenges and days where he feels down. However, he is more likely to become a confident man who takes calculated risks and maintains composure in the face of adversity. The adults responsible for Adam's development had good intentions. They clothed him, fed him, provided him with shelter and warmth. However, they were unaware. Just as we have physical needs, we also have emotional needs. A key point to note is that Adam was not emotionally abused. Rather, he was unintentionally emotionally neglected. Many of you may have been an Adam in childhood. So the question is, how do you overcome emotional neglect of the 6 A's? Step 1 is to identify the sources of neglect in your childhood and observe any symptoms you may have developed in adulthood. This has to be done without blaming, as most adults who emotionally neglect children do so unintentionally. Psychotherapy works best when both patient and therapist both know the sources of trauma. With regards to other practical steps to overcome emotional and psychological conditions, we cover this in our other posts. There are many solutions, but the key is to accept this is a lifelong journey, and you must experiment to identify the solutions that work best for you. If you want to know more about these fascinating topics, the link is in the description for 2 great books. Hold On to Your Kids by Dr. Gabor Mate and The Book You Wish Your Parents Had Read by Philippa Perry. And remember, if you have any mental health challenges, look back at your childhood to identify any of the 6 A's you did not receive.